What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video. So as you can tell, we're in the car. That makes us a car vlog. You already know how it's going down when I come around. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. So I want to throw something at you, man. I want to get you guys thinking, right? Maybe piss some of you guys off, rub you the wrong way, but I want to get you thinking. And the reason I want to get you thinking is because of you all. Not because of me, but because of you all. A lot of you all in the previous video that I made, basically, I think I titled it Big Changes Coming Up for the 2021 Dodge Charger and Challenger. I titled that because I basically wanted to see what you guys wanted to see with the new Chargers and Challengers as far as your expectation, right? I wanted to kind of get a gauge for what you guys were thinking. My biggest things were power and just exterior redesign. Power and exterior redesign. That's my biggest thing. And then obviously interior, whatever the case would be. Redesign all the way around, interior, exterior, and then of course more power. More power from the RT all the way up to the SRT Hellcats and so on and so forth. A lot of you guys have been bringing this idea to me about a possible two-door Charger, a coupe Charger, similar to the Challenger, 2 doors, no more 4 doors, no more sedan. When the Charger first came out back in 2006, if I'm not mistaken, when they brought it back, well, let's rewind. Let's go back even further. Let's go back to the late 60s, early 70s. You know, like I know, the Charger has always been 2 doors, just like the Challenger, just like the Coupe. It's always been 2 doors. No cars back then, muscle cars, performance cars were 4 door. That was unheard of. 4 doors were always associated with sedans, always associated with families, always associated with big and slow, and I guess durable and family friendly and whatever the case may be. No one has ever associated a 4-door car with performance, right? So starting there with the Dodge Charger and Challenger started, it's always been 2-door. Let's fast forward to 2006, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, when they brought out the Challenger and the Charger. The Charger was 4 doors. A lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people did not like the fact that it was 4 doors, irregardless of the power, the RT and the SRT. They did not care. They did not like the idea of a 4-door muscle car. Didn't matter how much power or how fast it was. They just did not like that idea, just because of the stereotypes that surround sedans. I can understand that, judging history, based on history, and what we've always been conditioned to seeing as far as in the, the performance car line or the performance car realm. Everything that we saw prior to was 2-door coupes, fast, powerful, light, agile, the whole thing, right? All the way from the damn Corvettes, Camaros, Mustangs, all the way up to the Lamborghinis, the Porsches, the fucking McLarens. Everything's always been 2 doors. No one has ever gone that route. Recently, 4-door powerful cars, not even muscle cars, powerful performance cars, have kind of had a resurgence, or maybe not even a resurgence, but they've come onto the scene. The Porsche Panamera, it's got that, if I'm not mistaken, a V8 engine that's putting down well over 500 horsepower. The Mercedes, I'm going to say this correctly here, the Mercedes AMG GT S63 4-door coupe. Mouthful, 4 doors, comes in 2 variants, the V8 and the V12, putting down over 621 horsepower. So you know that thing can get up to just about 200 miles an hour. Very powerful car, 4 doors, right? And then of course the Dodge Charger. I'm sure I'm missing some cars in between, but I'm just kind of hitting the big ones here. And then of course the Dodge Charger, right? Hellcat, 707 horsepower. And then most recently, the Daytona Hellcat, 717 horsepower, whatever the case may be. To this day, on my videos, you guys comment and say that you want the Charger to be 2 doors. You want to get rid of the 4 doors. You want to get rid of the sedan and turn it into a coupe. You want to turn it into, as you would say, a true muscle car. A lot of people refuse to call the Charger a muscle car because it's 4 doors. If you ever notice when you look online in the memes, Instagram, even television, whenever you see companies or television shows or Instagram pages or just social media in general comparing the muscle cars, they always say the Ford Mustang, they always say the Chevy Camaro, the Chevy Corvette, and then the Dodge Challenger. They never include the Dodge Charger. Why is that? The Charger is a muscle car. Always has been, always will be. 707 horsepower is nothing to sneeze at. Let's not front here, all right? Why does the Charger get excluded from these conversations? I'll tell you why. Because it's a sedan. And people don't look at muscle cars as sedans, or rather sedans as muscle cars. People do not respect sedans when it comes to power and performance, which is why the Challenger has always gotten that, I guess, that notoriety on behalf of Dodge when it comes to the powerful muscle car line, right? It's always the Challenger. Now, granted, the Challenger has the Hellcat Red Eye 797, and then, of course, the Demon at 840. I understand that. But 707 horsepower is nothing to sneeze at, guys. There was a time in 2015 where the Dodge Charger Hellcat was the most powerful sedan, on Earth. The Panamera was not touching it. Mercedes at the time did not have the GT63 on the line, on the floor. The Hellcat Charger was the most powerful sedan in the world at the time, but still doesn't get that notoriety because it is a sedan. You see cops driving them, state troopers, motherfucking sheriff's department driving them. You see moms and dads, families driving them, of course, in the V6 variant. But then you also see the boys driving it. You know what I'm saying? You see your RTs and your Scats and your SRTs, your Hellcats. You see all that out there as well. My question to you is, do you really want to see a two-door Charger? Is that something you really want? Me personally, I'm not a big fan of two-door cars. I don't have a problem with them whatsoever. I'm not a real tall guy by any means, but I'm kind of, you know what I'm saying? I'm muscular and I'm broad up here. I've sat in a Camaro Z01, and the reason I say the Z01 is I'm talking about the creme de la creme, the top of the line. And I really feel like I'm in a cockpit, which is a cool thing, but at the same time, I'm claustrophobic as shit. Not to mention, I can't see anything around me. The viewing angles are terrible. I've sat in a Corvette, and it's even worse. You know what I'm saying? The viewing angles are terrible. Everything's just closed in. The fucking roof is right here. The door is right here. It feels like the passenger door is right here as well. It's just not a functional car. Now, I understand those cars are built for power more so than function, or more so for fashion than function. In the sense that obviously you want your car, your powerful car, to be agile, to be aerodynamic, and nice and small. You don't want something huge. You don't want a big ass sedan, which I can understand. But personally, I'm not a fan of two-door cars. Like, I love the Challenger. If there was one two-door car that I had to get, it would be the Challenger, because of the size and the interior, and then not to mention I'm just a Dodge guy. For me, it's the Charger, the Challenger, Camaro, Corvette, and then the Ford Mustang. That's kind of my list right there. So naturally, my second choice would be the Challenger. Personally, I like four-door cars. I like for one, I like the spacious interior of a four-door car. I like having back seats in a four-door car, not because I'm always picking people up and, being a chauffeur and shit, but I like having that option too, if necessary. I like being able to throw shit in the back seat and just roll out. With this particular car, and you guys can reiterate this, with the back seats, they fold down. So now you've got a trunk that's literally the size of an SUV's trunk or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I've told you guys this story where I went to my parents' house and I picked up like a 60-inch flat screen. And of course, that shit's not going to just fit in the back seat, and it's certainly not going to fit in the trunk. But when you fold that back seat down, you've got a goddamn SUV, or a flatbed truck almost, in the back of your 707 horsepower Dodge Charger. I love the utilitarianism of the Charger. I love the fact that it's powerful, it's dope looking, it's aggressive. They didn't, cut any corners when it comes to the looks, but it's also functional. That's where I'm coming from. That's why the four-door is so important to me. That's why I don't want to see the four-door aspect change. And if there's one thing that I've noticed with a lot of guys that drive the Charger, not all guys, of course, certainly not myself, but it's the family aspect of it as well. You can't do much with a two-door Camaro when it comes to more than two people in a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take your family anywhere. The Ford Mustang's the same way. The Corvette's certainly the same way. The Challenger's a little different. The Challenger's a little bit bigger, but still, it's two doors. It's tight back there. A lot of people that drive the Charger also have families, but they want to fuck up and cut up on the weekends, and I can understand that. So it serves multiple purposes, right? I don't want to see the four-door go. A lot of you guys out there believe that the four-door needs to go because it's not a true performance car. It's not a true muscle car. And it's not an ode to the original Charger that was, of course, a two-door muscle car. I understand that. I do. I totally do. And a lot of people would say that the 4 doors, that takes away from kind of the allure, the mystique of the Charger, which I can understand that as well, because it turns it into a sedan. And when you think sedan, you're thinking what, Toyota Camry, Ford Taurus, goddamn Nissan Altima. Like that's the class, the car class that the Charger typically gets compared in. The Challenger is with the Camaro and the Corvette and the Ford Mustang, and the Charger gets put in the class with the fucking Camry, the 300, the 200, the Nissan Altima. And, you know, for us muscle car guys, it's like, whoa, like my car does over 500 horsepower, over 700 horsepower. I'm not in that class at all. I should be with these guys over here. Well, on paper, you're a sedan, right? Shit. On paper, your car is a sedan. So let's be honest here. Let's keep it real. I don't want to see the 4 doors go. I think that's what makes the Charger unique. If you put the Challenger and then the Charger and then even the Dart, and all 3 of those cars, well, the Dart's got 4 doors, so take that back. But the Charger and the Challenger, and both of them are 2-door muscle cars. It kind of lends itself to, well, why do you need 2? You know, unless you're doing a Chevy, Camaro, Corvette type deal where you got 2 muscle cars, 2-door muscle cars on the line. But at the same time, it's like now you're forcing your consumer to legitimately make a competition choice. Like their choice is now harder. With the Charger, it's clean cut and dry, whether you want 4 doors or don't you. Do you want the 4 doors and the 1 light in the back, or don't you? If you don't, you get the Challenger. If you want a 2-door muscle car, you want something that's a little more sleek or a little more aggressive, whatever the case may be, a coupe, you get a Challenger, done deal. If you want something that's more utilitarian, that you can function in, do this, that, and the other, you got a family perhaps, but you still want that power and that look, you get a Charger, simple and plain. No questions asked. Once you take away those 2 doors in the back, at that point, there's really no difference between the two. On paper, there's no difference, and when you look at them, there's no difference aside from, obviously, the design of the cars, right? Performance is going to be the same. The interior is going to be the same. Aside from the design and the look, they're going to be the same. I got a lot of Challenger and Charger guys in my groups. I can almost tell you that neither one of them would switch if they didn't have to. The Challenger guys bought the Challenger for a reason over the Charger, and the Charger guys bought the Charger for a reason over the Challenger, and they would not switch, and I'm one of them. I love my platform, and I would not switch if I had to, unless I had to, right? The minute you take away those 2 doors, now those cars are competing with each other. Now you've got people going to the dealership and saying, eeny, meeny, miny. You don't want that. You want people to know exactly what they want when they go to the dealership, because eventually you're going to start to see one sell a lot more than the other. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, it's going to become a situation where it's like, well, the Challenger's selling more than the Charger, or the 2-door Charger's selling more than the Challenger. I have no problem with this look. And I mean, if you set a Challenger next to a Charger, it's not like the Charger's any bigger. I don't know how they do that as far as the weight is concerned, but if you look on paper, the Charger and the Challenger are literally within a couple 100 pounds of each other. And when I say 100 pounds, like probably lighter than me, to be quite honest with you. We're talking maybe 150, 160 pound difference. And I don't even think the Charger's the heaviest. Maybe the Challenger, right? And that's the 2-door coupe, right? So it's not like you're trading performance for the extra 2 doors. You're certainly not trading looks for the extra 2 doors. The Charger is it's a dope ass looking car. The platform is dope, right? So let's not get it twisted. Let's not think that the Charger is a watered down version for the family. No, it's not. It's just as fucking aggressive as the Challenger, right? I don't understand. Got my goddamn headlights on. Like, I see no benefit to that whatsoever. What makes the Charger as special as it is the fact that it's 4 doors. The fact that it's 700 horsepower. The fact that it can go over 200 miles an hour. The fact that we're looking at a sedan on the drag strip that's smoking the shit out of these other cars. I'm seeing Chargers smoke GTRs, Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros. I've seen fucking Porsches getting smoked. McLaren's getting smoked. This is a damn sedan. I got a whole family in the back, man. I got my kids' soccer equipment in the trunk, and I'm smoking you. Why would you want to see a 2-door Charger? Like, that serves no purpose to me whatsoever. Like, give me, like, somebody in the comments, seriously, talk to your boy. What purpose? Or is there a purpose? Or maybe it's just preference. Maybe it's no purpose. Maybe it's preference. Maybe you just want to see a 2-door charger just for the sake of seeing a 2-door charger. I'm not feeling it, to be honest with you. I think the charger is exactly what it needs to be. I think it looks dope in the 4-door platform. I don't want to see it change. I don't want to see any modifications to that. It serves me no purpose whatsoever. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to contemplate, you know, how I do these videos is I reserve my opinion until I do the videos, because I don't want to come here with any sort of bias. Like, I want to talk it out with you guys. I want to talk it out in front of the camera. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what rational reason would Dodge want to take the 4 doors off and turn it into a 2-door? Not to mention, honestly, it would look weird. I've seen renders of the Charger with 2 doors and it looks weird. It just looks like, you know what I'm saying? Like Dodge just squished it in. It's because of the Charger that we have the Panamera doing over 600 horsepower. It's because of the Charger that we have the AMG GT 63 4-door coupe doing 620 horsepower. The Charger set the tone. The Hellcat, it set the tone. You need that. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what pushes industry when you push the boundaries. Instead of putting everything in a 2-door platform, put it in 4. I want to pick the kids up at 5, but I also want to hit the drag strip at 6. And I don't want to have to change cars. I don't want to have to drop these little motherfuckers off. I want to go straight from the school to the drag strip. Boom. And I want to go to work. Talk to me. I'm not feeling it, to be honest with you. Give me legitimate reasons as to why you want to see a 2-door Charger, man. As always, it's been your boy Knockout 360. I just wanted to come to you with that quick video because I've been seeing that a lot. Would you be happy with the 2021 Dodge Charger Coupe? Would you be upset? I would be upset. I would be disappointed. I'm already scared and worried about what the new bodies are going to look like. And now you're telling me that we're going to get a coupe option? Slow down. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Talk to your boy, man. Help me rationalize this. A lot of you guys want to see it. Explain to me why you want to see it, man. As always, it's been your boy Knockout 360. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.